For someone who's active like you, I think it's easy for inquiring yourself. But for someone who's kind of really depressed, or say they've been cleaning for 10 years, but my life hasn't changed, what do you say to those kind of people?
First, I say be patient.
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 After 10 years, you'll say the same thing.
Yes, yes. And the second, I want to say that there is always there is an opportunity to change and to move on. So never give up first, and because it is a shame that you do something that maybe you feel good or you feel comfortable, but you see that you do that. You see, first, it is not always true that life has not changed.
Well,
Look back and look if you really who you were 10 years ago. But it is always the moment that you can inquire yourself, because yourself, it is always there. It is always there. So in any healing, spiritual healing process, my opinion is that 50% comes from the practice, the method, and 50% comes from the person. There is no, it is not, we don't have to blame Ho'oponopono if we are not changed. No.
yes.
It is at least 50-50. So taking responsibility of life doesn't mean to do Ho'oponopono. That's not true. It is not like that. It is really taking responsibility of life. And I see always during my interaction with Ho'oponopono student that sometimes we use Ho'oponopono to escape life. That's not the Ho'oponopono purpose. We don't want to escape our life. We want to stay within ourselves. And again, Ho'oponopono, it is the means to go inside ourselves. So take your responsibility, I would say, real responsibility of life, but watch into yourself, watch back and see what you have done, what you have not done, what you have repeated in your life, for example. And so anyway, life, it is always something that looks like similar, but it is never similar. So there is always some changes that comes in life. We have only to acknowledge and so we give honor of what we have changed, and in this way we can activate a virtuous cycle in our life. So that's what I can say.
Thank you.
We don't have the solution. There is not one solution. I say that the real solution is we have to find ourselves. We can trust some way in the process, and I trust in the process, or in the Ho'oponopono process. But this trust has to be the mirror of what is the trust into myself. And so I have to trust in myself. I believe that many of the issues that we experience in our life is because we do not trust in ourselves. We do not trust in our insight. We do not trust in our feelings. trust doesn't mean that we have to follow, but we have to acknowledge. And for example, if I meet a person and I have a feeling, maybe my guts get a reaction, I should listen. My guts should listen. Of course, I will continue to meet the person, but being aware of that, I will change how I will relate with that person. So this is to have always a look inside of ourselves. And this is hooponopono. When we apply any cleaning tool, what do we do really? We should put the attention to ourselves, to our subconscious. We say that any cleaning tool activated the hooponopono process. It's okay. But where is activated the hooponopono process? It is activated outside or inside ourselves. Think about that. It is not activated on the looser water, for example. It is the looser water that activate our inner process. So change always the direction of the attention. Instead of having the attention outside, we always bring the attention inside. That is really what we taught. We also share during the classes, the private session.
Yes, inside job.
Please be at peace. It is to be at peace. And it is hard work because every time there are challenges. For example, if there is no changes, I complain because nothing changes. And this complaint blocks more and more any possibility to change. So be at peace, be at zero, means that it is always like that. When I really be at zero, the life move me on forward. That's all. And for you, what?
For me, I want love, and peace brings. I understand that peace brings in love, but I'm still at a stage. I want to be connected with myself and be fulfilled with myself, and I think in the process, love and peace is being integrated to become zero eventually. It's like a pathway.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, love, it is, when do you love someone? When you have the attention on that person. So, as you mentioned, when you love, you want to love, but it means that you have to pay attention to yourself.
Yes.
And
you need peace to have that, so it's mixed.
Okay, yes, from some point you have to start. Maybe the peace is byproduct of love. Yes. It is the basic of any spiritual practice. This is why I believe has so much success in the world, because it is not, how can I say, it is not should not be a close practice, but it is something, it is a universal language. It is a universal language because it is not a religion. And as I say, from my experience, we different spiritual experience, we say always the same things, but with different words. And hooponopono, it is clear about that it is, for me, it is in the hooponopono there is the root of each and every spiritual practice, and there is the root also for religions. I talk with some autistic practitioner, and if we are open, we say the same things. For example, if I take a sword in my hand, okay, could be a way to know myself, and it is like that. All the martial art imply that you have to know yourself first, because the worst enemy, who is the worst
Yourself.
yourself. So really, Ho'oponopono simplified any spiritual practice. Means that you don't have to give up your spiritual practice, but through Ho'oponopono, for me, my experience is being able to go more deeply in each and every spiritual practice, because that is the basic. There are the roots of everything.
I love the Ho'oponopono because you can be your own guru, and you don't have to have any ritual. You can do it anytime, and it's free. And it's very simple. And also, the benefit is you're loving yourself. As a result, everything manifests. So it's like win, 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 win.
Yeah. You said something right, that there are no ritual, and Ho'oponopono should be like that. It should not be a ritualistic.
Yes.
Yes, and also there are no outside guru, but teach to be your guru. So
Yes.
to know yourself. That's yes, great, beautiful. And for example, I have a daughter that doesn't talk to me for years. So, and I do Ho'oponopono, and looks like that I don't not have results. Even though I see and watch her that little by little she is moving. But the purpose that I do Ho'oponopono when I'm afraid about her because she is in trouble, the real purpose is to bring peace to me first. That's it is not because if I do Ho'oponopono because of her, really I don't not let her free. And I'm sure that if she doesn't talk to me, it is because she feels strongly connected with me. Badly strongly, or I don't know, lovely strongly, I don't know. But I have, my discipline is I have to let free her. So when sometimes, for example, another example, I had an argument with my girlfriend, and the first was I should do Ho'oponopono. I should do the egg for her and for me. Difficult, okay? And then I realized, but does she really want that? And what is really that needs? That is needs. If I take my responsibility, I should do the egg only for me, and let her free. Otherwise, I do Ho'oponopono with some expectation. So I have an argument with someone. I have to let him or her free. This is why I worked for my peace, not her peace. It is not right to looking for her peace. It is who am I to say she should be at peace? Who am I? I'm nothing and nobody. So the only thing that I can do is doing peace for me. So I did the egg only first. A simple example is the swimmer. When you train a swimmer, you don't have to teach what is the perfect movement, the standard movement. You have to help the person to find his or her more efficient movement that is always different from the standard movement. So the good trainer doesn't teach to the student the standard way, but even in the sports, we are unique. The mantra is we are unique. Like my way to do something must be, not should, different that the way that has another person. Even it is my children, even it is my student, even if I don't know, they will come to me to have a certification. But for me, that certification, it is valid only if they have find their own way. Otherwise, it is a word that I don't like to say, but otherwise it is manipulation. Teaching is not to manipulate people. Parenting is not manipulating children, or vice versa, because as children can manipulate parents. So, yes, of course. So we are unique. I think that one of my motto is, you are unique, I'm unique, so we are different, we love differences. I respect you, and I respect myself. And as long as you respect me and I respect you, we are at peace and we are in harmony. That's all.
Let's say that your child, you don't need to be that specific, but like my point is, like when you see your child, they did a big mistake or showing that disrespectful for a certain situation, and then you mentioned that at the moment you got of course not happy about it, but you actually, and then you also say the certain things, but you were actually okay, right? Can you describe again that, like how your journey, like in that time of your mental journey, like that was very interesting for me. Yes.
First, of course, we are human beings, and we have the reaction, and I have an internal reaction. Fortunately, sometimes, very often, I'm able to contain this reaction, being aware that any reaction is something that make the things worse, and this comes only from the experience. This comes only from experience, that you observe what happens when you react to a situation. Usually the things are going worse. So I learned that from my past error first, and then of course using some practice like hooponopono, or that moment, for example, that I shared. My son called me while I was in meditation, and I answered the phone, and I would not be angry. I cannot be, because I was doing something that if I would react would be against myself. So sometimes some tools are very useful to calm down, to not react, but to talk through, we don't know inspiration, but through the cleaning. And we only through mistake, what we think of mistake, but maybe it is life. If we accept that through the mistake, at some points they will not feel any more mistake, but they know how to say. We always think that we are doing mistake. Always, we are always mistaken, especially in the Japanese culture, I see that the sense of guiltiness is very, very strong. So we are always, we think that we have done mistake. And actually, I do a lot of mistakes. And that's another point very important is to forgive ourselves, to some way, through the forgiveness, we let go the past, and then I'm able to overcome my mistake. Because keeping in mind that I've done mistake, of course I will do again mistake. But if I forgive myself, when I'm able to forgive myself, maybe I will do other mistake, of course, but at that moment, my reactions will be different. So I do not repeat the mistake. Maybe I will do different mistake, but in this way, I explore different level of my life. But at the same time, I know that every time that I think I've done mistakes, I have to forgive myself. That's another point.